Hello, this is a video of me sewing all of the different things that I wore on a recent trip to New York. So I hope you enjoy it. Hello everyone, it is a new day, which means that it is day 2 of me sewing my outfits for my upcoming trip to New York. I'm really excited. It's gonna be spring. I have a couple of family gatherings that I'm going to, and so today's make is another dress. I'm making it with this soft cotton. It might be a lawn, I'm not sure, but it's gray. It's very nice. It's soft. It's thick, but it's got a little bit of body. It's washed, so I've decided that I'm going to be making the Lydia Naomi daisy frock. I've had this dress on my make list for a while. I've had the pattern printed for a while. I think I've just been waiting for the right fabric because I do want to make it a little bit bigger, a little bit longer. I want it to look really expensive. And so that's the mission for today. I think that this is the perfect fabric. I am going to line all the pieces, so it's going to have a lot of volume. I hope it's not too rainy in New York when I get there, because then I will have to figure out how to cover up those puffy sleeves with a jacket. So I think I'm going to have to hold off wearing this one for a really sunny spring day, which hopefully will come that week. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing is I am gonna line all the pieces, right? So I wanna make sure that I have like a list of all the pieces that need to be lined. So I wrote those down because the pattern only lines the bodice. So I want to line the sleeves, I want to line the skirt, so I need to make sure that I have that nice and organized. I also need to see if I have enough of the good fabric to use that to line the entire piece, because the way that this is constructed is very clean on the inside, so it'd be kind of nice to use the same fabric and make it look really professional, but we'll see if we have enough fabric. I also figured out the order that I wanted to do, because there's some stuff that happens with the addition of lining later in the video, and I'm going to do that first to just sort of have all of my pieces settled and joined with the good fabric and the lining fabrics. And yeah, I also made some notes to lengthen the pattern piece. The pattern piece right now is about 83 centimeters from waist to, the midi length. I'm a little taller, and so I want to extend that by about 10 centimeters. And if it's a little long, I can always just go ahead and like cut it later, but I want to make sure it's long enough. Sometimes with patterns, I do feel like that's the biggest modification I need to make, making it a little bit longer. Sometimes they can sit like right below the knee, which I don't know, the look is not for me. I feel like right below the knee is like very like evangelical, but if you hit it like at the mid shin, now it's like fashion. So anyways, I want to do that. And that's basically all of the different notes that I made. Oh, also I made myself a note to remember to mark the notches and the elastic lines at the beginning. I think I make a lot of dresses that have this sort of style with the elastic lines and with notches that are very specific, and I always forget to like write them down or to jot them down on the fabric, and so then I'm like toward the end trying to like stretch out the pattern piece, stretch out the like now sewn piece, and trying to like notch things. So I made a note for myself to do that first. Okay, so next up I'm going to iron my fabric, and then I'm gonna cut the pieces, and then we're going to start with the construction of the bodice. So I'm lining the whole front bodice piece with the good fabric. which is good. It's gonna look really nice and clean inside. I do still want to line the sleeves and I want to line the skirt, and so I have to find a nice fabric to do that with. I think I kind of know what I want to use. I have this really light cotton that I used to make my sister a pair of pajamas, and I have about 1 meter left, which might be just enough. We'll see. Okay, wait. I just found the craziest lining fabric. This is gonna be so good. Okay, so I have these sheets and they are like a bamboo something. I don't know. These were my sister's. So my sister had a full bed and then she moved in with her boyfriend, and so they got a bigger bed, they got a queen bed, and so she couldn't use these sheets anymore. But I don't know how much she paid for them, but they're so fresh. Like every time you touch them, they feel like really good material, fresh, like just like sleeping on these was so good. So then I put these on my guest bed because I had a full bed, and it was great. It was like getting into that bed was like magic. Kind of like sometimes would sneak in there in the middle of the night. And then I got a puppy, and my puppy tore these up like crazy. Like there's holes everywhere. So I saved them because I think my idea was still going to be to try to like patch it up. The patchwork is like, or like the amount of work that I would have to do to patch these up, I'm like not even sure that they would fit the bed anymore, if that makes sense. Like I'd have to cut like really large parts of it. And so I'm thinking I can use it for a lining because it's so soft. So I'm like, wouldn't it be so nice to just like put on a dress and like be like, oh yes, oh so cool. And I don't know. So I'm like kind of thinking I'm gonna do that. They're pretty stained anyway too, because these have been like handed down to me, and then I got it's a whole thing. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna sacrifice the sheet and make the world's most comfortable lining. I literally told myself earlier not to forget to mark the notches. Like I even got that on video. Also, I made myself a note to remember to mark the notches and the elastic lines at the beginning. And then I made my list here, right, of like all the things that I needed to do to like get the dress started. As I was making this list, I forgot to add mark the notches, and so then I added it. I was like, okay, good. Caught it, not gonna forget it, because I wrote it down. It's right there on my list. And then I completely forgot to mark the notches. And I put the whole pattern away, folded it up, like made creases on it. And then I realized that none of my pattern pieces had the notches or the elastic guide channels marked. So now I have unfolded the patterns. I'm trying to like weigh them down with stuff so that like the creases will whatever. And so I'm gonna mark all of them. I've got the sleeve and the linings here, and I've got the front piece. I have 2 good pieces of fabric on the fold for the front piece. For the back bodice piece, I had 1 good piece of fabric on the fold, and then I had to sort of MacGyver this one because I didn't have enough to put it on the fold, but I did want to have the good fabric be the lining. And so I think the first thing I'm going to do is sew this with 1 centimeter because I added like that little extra centimeter, and then I can sort of put it with this other back bodice piece and then mark all of the channels. It is very early Sunday morning the next day, and I did a couple of things off camera. Okay, so the first thing that I did is I attached the lining to the main fabric. They look the same because I use the same fabric for both the lining and the main fabric, but the inside is where you'll see the lines. And what I really like about this dress is that it has this kind of open but finished section on the inside, and that means that like later on if I want to change the elastic, I can do that easily. Or if I want to give it to somebody else and they have a different measurement and they want to change the elastic, they can do that without having to seam rip the whole dress. I think that that's so smart. Another thing that I did is I actually was having like nightmares about this last night. I was like, the lines don't match up. I was like, the lines for the elastic guides, for some reason, just didn't match up on both sides of the lining, like for the front piece and the back piece. And yesterday I kind of went crazy. Like right before I stopped for the night, I was just like, okay, they're not lining up, and they're in, originally I used like yellow chalk. So I was like, okay, let me do them again, and I'm going to use like blue chalk, which is like the darkest one I have, to make sure that they're, you know, lined up. They didn't line up again, and now it had like blue chalk. So then I was like, okay, I'm going to use white chalk. And it was just a disaster. So before I went to sleep last night, I actually grabbed like a towel and like tried to scrub off all of the chalk. And I knew that that was something that I was going to have to do over again today. So you can kind of actually still see like all of the different colors of the chalk. But we're going to go with the white one. So you can see that the white one is all lined up on all the pieces now. So we're going to go with that. These are definitely the cleanest sleeves that I've ever sewn. I'll show you again the back. It just looks so nice. It's like all going to be tucked in there. And this is the inside. It just, oh, it looks so nice. Hello everyone, I have finished the dress. I'm giving you a little bit of a glimpse here, a little bit of a preview, but I will show you all of my finished makes at the end of the video, and I'll show you me wearing these in New York. This is a super cute dress though, I just want to say. I'll give you a little preview. It is so like luxurious feeling. I think I have it kind of punched up here a little bit weirdly, but it feels so expensive because I lined it. The fabric is super soft. The sleeves feel just like really well structured. Everything on the inside of the dress is finished beautifully. I think this is a must sew pattern. If you haven't ever sewn Lydia Naomi's patterns, I really, really recommend them. They are extremely thorough. They come with a very strong video. And she just does a really good job of like making things feel really expensive and finished. I do think that sometimes some other patterns are just sort of like serge the ends, fold over, baby hem, you're done. Which I appreciate because it takes less time. But it is really nice to sort of work on something that takes maybe a little bit longer, but everything just feels finished and beautiful. So next up, I am going to work on a dress that I'm going to be wearing to my husband's family's reunion, get together. That's the reason that we're going to New York. And I'm really excited about it because for this, I'm not going to be using a pattern. I'm going to be copying a dress that I already have. So I have this dress that is one of my favorites. I bought it probably like it was during the pandemic, so it was definitely 5 years ago. I got it on ASOS. Now that I know how to sew, I know that there's things that like need to be fixed from the pattern. Like the facing was not stitched down, like there was no like top stitching down on the facing, and so it does kind of like ride up and like you can kind of see the tag. Anyways, so those are like little alterations that I'm gonna make, but the dress is also really worn out. Like it is, I've put it through the ringer. I wore a lot. It's black also, so that's probably also why it looks so worn, because I think black just doesn't hold its color as well. But I've worn it for like a lot of things that are like more, you know, formal, like things like work events, presentations, family events, school visits, things like that. And I always get complimented on it so much. And mind you, this is a dress that's like very, like, it's not form-fitting, it's like very billowy. But for some reason I like get complimented down every single time I wear it. So I love this dress. It is faded. It does have some construction issues. It is still one of my favorites. I am going to do something extremely risky, which is I am going to take it apart. I'm going to iron all of the pieces. And then I'm gonna copy the pattern, and then I'm going to remake the dress in a different fabric. Okay, I have taken the dress apart. I have the pieces. This is, for example, the front piece. I also have the facing. I am not going to unattach the facing because The facing is just basically the front piece, but it's shorter. So I'm just gonna like make a shorter piece with the front piece, if that makes sense. I have all the other pieces. I have the skirt over there, I have the like cuffs, the sleeves, etc. I've also taken like copious notes of like how it's attached, because like, okay, like for example, the back piece here is like 2 different pieces. I don't know why. Maybe it's for like room, or I don't know. I'm thinking it could probably be one piece, but part of me is just kind of like, maybe keep it the way that it is, because maybe it's that way for a reason. Although maybe it's because they ran out of fabric, and that's why. Because why am I gonna cut 2 pieces out and then put it back together? Like, that doesn't make sense, right? Okay, I'm gonna think about that. Right now, I just like put it as it is. I was like, it's 2 pieces, it's attached at the middle, that's the back piece, and then of course the facing is the same way. It's 2 pieces, it's attached to the back, and then yeah, why did they do that? That's so weird. Like, why wouldn't they just do like 1 piece? Huh. Okay, I'm gonna now trace these pieces onto this sort of like paper to make the pattern pieces, and then I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, I've got my sewing pieces of the dress that I'm duplicating. I've got the main side, back side. I'm gonna cut both of them on the fold. One thing that I'm wondering is like if I should do a facing or if I should just like fully line it. I think it could maybe look a little bulky if I fully line it, but I'm afraid that if I just do the facing, that you might be able to see like the facing line from the front, like a seam edge or something from the front. So yeah, I don't know. I'm still kind of deciding on that. I'm kind of lost on what to do there. I need to make a decision. And yeah, so I'm ready to iron my fabric, which has already been washed, and then get to it. So this is the fabric again. Now that it's daylight, maybe you can see it a little bit better. It's like a blue that's got a lot of body. So, oh God, I'm still not sure about the lining or the facing. We'll see. I'm gonna iron this and cut the fabric and maybe just give the fully lined bodice a try first and see if it feels too bulky, and then decide to cut it down. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. I was almost in trouble. Like, I don't even really know how I'm making this work right now, but I totally understand why the back bodice of the dress, the original back bodice, was cut in half. And it was not cut in the folds, and it's because there is no fold left. This is a very large dress. Hold on, let's see. So it's like I have the skirt here, I have the sleeve, which I extended a little bit. I'm gonna be able to get one back bodice on the fold, the other one I'm gonna have to cut, and then I have to sort of maneuver and MacGyver that little section to be one part of the skirt, because yeah, like this is it. This is like, and I have like 4 meters of fabric here. So yeah, I'm calling this the billow dress because I needed to put something on my board as I was working on this, and it's definitely so much fabric. So yeah, I'm moving so slow, I swear to God. But the sleeve is pretty much done. I'm gonna sew this side, and it's got like pretty wide sort of little sleeve. I wonder how this is gonna look actually. But whatever, it's gonna be fine. I probably should have put the cuff, I don't know. I put the cuff as if it was bias tape. That's probably not how you do it. Whatever. I'm gonna sew down this way and then serge, and hopefully it doesn't look too crazy. because now I'm realizing you're probably going to see the serge. So I don't know. I'll figure it out. I might have to do some hand sewing to like, I don't know. We'll see. Okay, I have finished the billow dress. I'm in my pajamas. But I'm gonna show it to you, and then I'll show you a better one when I'm in New York wearing it. I am gonna get started on my next project, which is a skirt to match a corset that I made. I did record myself making the corset, but it was on my phone that died. I have to get a new phone. It's a whole thing. And again, I live in Bogota, so I'm waiting to go to the US to get a new phone. Anyways, so I have the corset already done, actually. That was the first thing I did for this trip. And now I'm gonna make like a quick little tiered skirt that goes with it. And it is end of Monday, basically. And I leave Thursday, so a couple of days left. I told myself I wasn't gonna do any marathon sewing, and yet here I am, so. Anyways, that's okay. I'll keep you all along on this journey to finish my mini wardrobe before New York. It is Tuesday before New York. I leave on Thursday. Okay, so here is the skirt panel. I kind of did everything already that was hard. I had to gather, but I did like the casing for the elastic. I have all the pieces serged. So I just need to do some gathering, attach all the pieces, and hem things. So that's pretty good. I'm feeling good about that. And then my fabric has been washed. I'm gonna use this to make a tiered skirt that I'm excited about, and then I'm gonna make a crop top, and that's it. So that is a lot of work to do and it's Tuesday. And I actually have to do work for my job. So I have to pick this back up after work. I will see how much time I have. I really want to get the black skirt for sure fully done today, but at least cut this and serge all of the pieces and potentially do the casing for the elastic. It's only going to be 2 tiers. It's like super simple. So if I can get that, then tomorrow after work I can finish the skirt, make the crop top, and then that still gives me all of Thursday because we leave Thursday night to pack and all that. So I'm feeling good about that. We will see how it goes. I have done absolutely all of the tedious parts of the sewing for the tiered skirt that I'm making, like the beige tiered skirt. And I think I'd already shown you that I'd made all of the pieces for the black tiered skirt. So absolutely all of the tedious parts are done. I hemmed everything. I made the casing for the elastic for all parts. I think I'll show you here, put the gathering stitches. I put the gathering stitches on the bottom panels. I serged everything. And yeah, so right now what I'm ready to do is just do some very, hopefully uncomplicated sewing around, like, putting the parts together, gathering the parts. And so it is around like 6:15. I start work around 9, maybe a little bit earlier, 8:30, because I want to go have breakfast first. So I am going to do my best to do as much of the beige skirt as possible in this time, and then I can finish the black skirt after work. Okay, this is what you always measure before closing the elastic, because it is just a smidge too big on me. It needs to be taken by that much. So I'm gonna open it up and change the elastic, but I really love it. I think it came out really cute. It's exactly what I was looking for. So. It is Wednesday afternoon. And all I have left to do is to put together this skirt, which is like a little tiered skirt. Nothing too crazy. It is almost 5. I am absolutely fighting demons to not make anything else because I really love the skirt that I made earlier. And like the thing about sewing, and when you start sewing, is that like when you make something, you're always like, oh, I can make it a set. I can make it a set. How cute is a set? How cute is a set? And a set is cute. Like whenever you wear a set, like a matching set, people are like, where did you get that? Where did you get that? Because you don't realize like how much shopping in traditional stores or fast fashion or things like that, like things are very separate, right? Like it's more rare to find a set. I mean, you can find like sweatpants sets and things like that, but like to find a really cute skirt with like a really cute top and the same fabric, that can be tough. So I always find myself in a situation where I'm like, oh, I need to make a set. Like I need to make a crop top. I need to make a something. And I don't need to today. If I come back from my trip and I'm still inspired by the fabric and I still want to make a top, I can do that, right? I kind of always put myself in this situation where I'm like sewing to the last minute. And even this, like I still have a whole skirt to finish, right? So, and it's not gonna take me that long, you know, because it's a pretty simple skirt. But even then it's like, why do I want to add something else? Like I need to, I need to get past that. So yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to sew the black skirt and that is it. I just got my nails done, so it's like so hard. It's becoming so hard to like do the basic things. I like never have my nails done when I'm really sewing. I'm going on a trip, aren't they so cute? Ooh. But anyway, so it's taking a little longer. But this is the bottom tier, and I'm just gonna do like a little baby hem. I'm gonna do like a little boop boop to cover up the serger. And I'm gonna do that to both sides of the bottom panel. So I've hemmed both sides. You can see that little hem. So these are the bottom tiers. They're all hemmed up. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put 2 rows of gathering stitches, and then I'm gonna gather it up, and I'll show you how I attach it to the front piece. But yeah, I'm gonna do my 2 lines of gathering stitches to one side of this. I've pinned the bottom to the top. This is one panel, so it's gonna get very when I put the elastic in. But yeah, black is a hard color to see, but that's kind of what it's gonna look like. And like I said, it's a mini skirt, so you know, it's a little hoochie. But you wear it with some tights and it's cute. I really was going to show you the process of making this black skirt, and then my camera died. So I finished it last night. It is Thursday. I'm flying later tonight. I'm flying tonight. I'm going to show you all of this really styled up. This is the corset that I made where I lost the footage. And then this is the skirt. I think you can see it better right there. Okay, so I sewed all of this stuff for New York, and then I forgot to record it when I was in New York. I feel like I'm still getting the hang of recording myself and taking videos of my outfits, and yeah, I definitely am the kind of person that like when I go on trips, I take very few pictures in general. It's like a running joke in my family actually, so yeah, it is what it is. But here is a montage of how the looks turned out. I'm really happy with these. I've actually worn them a lot since I came back from New York as well. Even though Bogota is a little bit colder, I've been able to use them as layering pieces and things like that. So yeah, hope you like them.